Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today is Friday, May 12, 2023. If you're on YouTube, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click the bell icon. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, click those 5 stars and leave us a comment. It helps people find the show. So I've been making this show for 3 years, every day, over 3 years, every day. And I just recently added YouTube to it. Now every week it's taking me about 30 hours to make the show. And so it left me at a crossroads. There's a lot of things that I am very much interested in that I'm not able to pursue because I'm putting a lot of time into this. And we are in a bear market. We have a lot of different regulations coming out. We're going to be cruising forward within the digital asset space until at least, before we hit another bull market, at least until Bitcoin halving 24, and then have a bull market in 25 if it follows the same pattern. We never know. You never know about these things. Just because it happened historically doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future. And so I'm looking at it as 30 hours a week every morning to put out this content. I really want to focus on other things as well. And so I'm going to shift this show to only one day a week, and I'm going to put them out every Friday with a weekly roundup of digital asset news. I know we've been together for a long time, and I might be back 5 days a week. However, as of right now, I really want to try to pursue other things and free up my time in the morning for those pursuits. If you have any questions or comments on that, please email me bookings@todayinweb3.com. That's bookings with an S at todayinweb3.com. You can also DM me on Twitter. That's @todayinweb3. And again, thank you for everybody who followed me from the Decrypt Daily through the merge of GM, through all the ups and downs with that, and now here to Today in Web3 for this daily news content. I am not going anywhere, and I hope because I'm putting it out once a week, the content's going to be more concise, more researched, and it's just going to be just a better show overall. So look for that show coming once a week on Fridays, and thank you for your support thus far. Let's get into today's headlines. As you guys know, the CFTC decided to sue Binance.com and CZ because they claim that Binance.com was allowing U.S. customers on their site to buy and sell and trade derivatives, futures, swaps, options, and so on and so forth. This is a no-no. And they're claiming that Binance knew that U.S. customers were there, and the only way that they're going there was through a VPN, and Binance was actually allowing it and promoting it. And so this is a no-no from the CFTC. And because of this, the CEO of Binance, CZ, is looking to sell the majority stake of Binance US. And this is on the heels of him lawyering up back in April because the SEC, the CFTC, and the DOJ were all filing suits or having multiple legal threats against him. In a statement to Decrypt Media, Binance cited the hostile and uncertain regulatory climate in the United States is the main reason for them backing out of Binance.us. One thing I am not clear about is this going to be him letting go of the majority stake? Is he still going to just let go of some of the stake in Binance.us and be still the majority? The fact is he's trying to sell some of his stake. We'll see who buys. Well, as we know, CZ and Binance is not the only ones that are getting cold feet with United States regulations, or lack thereof. Coinbase and Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, has been praising the UAE for their regulations and their frameworks to allow businesses to go set up shop there and operate. The EU has just passed the MiCA or the MiCA regulation framework, and Hester Peirce, the commissioner for the SEC, has praised it as a guideline or a foundation for all countries to look at and go, hey, apply this to your countries so digital asset companies and people in this industry or want to get into this industry can go and set up shop there. This is a great thing for the EU, and it combines all the 27 member countries to operate under one framework. Well, as we know, Coinbase was served with a Wells notice from the SEC, and they shot back, and they're also suing the SEC for a lack of framework, and the United States Chamber of Commerce is going to be on their side. They said this, that the SEC has deliberately muddied the waters by claiming sweeping authority over digital assets while deploying a haphazard enforcement-based approach. This regulatory chaos is by design, not happenstance. The SEC actions are not just harmful policy, but they're unlawful. They also said that the agency's refusal to announce the rules of the road in combination with actions conflicts with the right to due process. This is obviously looking like just a political move from the SEC. It's playing politics with an industry, an entire industry. At least that's my opinion. You can email me, bookings@todayweb3.com, and debate that. So what is happening within the SEC? Basically, the SEC is playing politics as right versus left, red versus blue politics, using a whole industry as a talking point. They're just leveraging the whole digital asset industry for votes and fundraising and lobbyists and so forth and other industries besides the digital asset industry. And so what is actually happening here with the SEC? The SEC says they have the Howey test. And if you apply the Howey test to any kind of, stock or digital asset, you can see that it's a security. They say that this already exists. And so Coinbase is going, hey, all these digital assets we have, the Howey test, if applied, makes it a security, and also sometimes doesn't make it a security. Also, what about earning if I'm staking Ethereum or staking other proof of stake tokens? They just say, just apply the Howey test. Well, Coinbase is saying, well, this has never been done before. This could be a security and a commodity and a currency all at the same time. And the SEC just says, apply the Howey test. And they're like, how do you apply the Howey test? And they're just like, well, the Howey test exists. You guys figure it out. And then if they don't figure it out properly, the SEC comes back with legal action, saying that, well, we had the Howey test, but you didn't do it right, so we're going to sue you and fine you. And this is not good for businesses. As you see, that every time the SEC comes back, it just goes through this whole circle process, and they go back to square one, where there's no clarification of anything that's happening in the digital asset space, of how to classify certain things, what's allowed, what's not allowed, how to tax, how to set up, what regulations or applications you need to apply for to use or establish such products. And, well, you see where we're at. The Chamber of Commerce says this is on purpose. It's haphazard and illegal. Speaking of Coinbase, decentralized exchange Uniswap's trading volume for the month outpaced Coinbase's for the fourth consecutive month. Now, the reason for this could be two things, in my opinion. Number one, Pepe is on Uniswap. It came out of nowhere. It went from zero to $1 billion market cap. Everybody was using Uniswap to trade this token. Obviously, if Coinbase is going to run a legal, compliant, trusted exchange, they just can't let any meme token that comes up, pops out of the ethers willy-nilly onto their exchange. So Uniswap is always going to have that advantage. Make a token, people ape some money into it, they have a big trading volume. Makes total sense, and Coinbase would never be able to do that. The other thing is, I do think that a lot of people within the United States are getting a little cold feet and being a little bit risk adverse to the regulations or the lack thereof within the US, coming from the SEC, the CFTC, and so on and so forth. So we're just looking at this, and I think everybody's gonna be looking at Coinbase, Binance US, going, hey, these American citizens, where do I trade? Might as well just start using a DEX now, because this is probably gonna be the future. I don't think so. We're gonna pull it off. We just have to get through this obvious political back and forth using digital assets as the pawn. Part of the cold feet that people are getting is not just the individuals, but it's also companies here based in the United States. Circle refuses to hold longer dated treasuries on concern the United States government might default. We don't want to carry exposure through a potential breach of the ability for the United States government to pay its debts, said Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle. He said that Circle's reserve fund, which is managed by BlackRock, holds no U.S. government debt maturing beyond May 31st. And so Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that the United States is going to hit its debt ceiling by the end of the month, early June, maybe even late June. It's kind of like she doesn't know when, but it's coming quicker than she thought originally. And if the United States Congress does not raise the debt ceiling, we're going to start defaulting on payments, which is going to be extremely detrimental, not only to the United States economy, but the global economy. If that happens, numbers will go down bigly. Even though Coinbase might be kind of struggling with the United States regulations, struggling with customers, struggling with volume, Brian Armstrong had a yearly total compensation in 2022 of $7.5 million. Well, it's kind of misleading that, so I'll tell you. Brian took a $1 million yearly salary, which is the same as 2020 and 2021, but his security has went up to $6.3 million a year. But all of Coinbase's executives went up in 2022 versus their 2021 numbers. If you want to see everybody's total compensation, you could take a look right now. Just pause the video and boom. So even though we're having all these problems with the economy, the debt ceiling, regulations or lack thereof in the digital asset space, it seems like the executives are still getting paid. You guys made a company that went public. Get paid. That's what people want. That's the American dream. Good for you guys. And finally, Do Kwon is going to be released on bail. $436,000 worth of bail. I read multiple articles on this. I'm not too sure what's the precautions that everybody's taking that he doesn't run. We know that he has access to lots of money, and you don't need to buy a plane ticket just to get out of town. I think he was found on a boat, a private boat. So, caution, guys, law enforcement. I know you're not watching the show for law enforcement tips, but keep an eye on this guy, I promise you he's gonna bounce. Let's get into those crypto prices.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
And the time is 11:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. We have Bitcoin sitting at $26,380, down 2.8% in 24. Ethereum's at $1,769, down 1.8%. Tether's number 3. Binance is at 305, down 1.1, and USDC is number 5, rounding off to the top 10, which is interesting, going from 6 to 10. They're in the green. XRP is up, Cardano's up, Doge is up, Solana's up, and Matic is down. Total market cap, we're at 1.1 trillion. A BTC dominance of 46.2 and an ETH dominance of 19.7. And that was our show today. I'll be back tomorrow with a long form podcast. Actually, it's a very interesting conversation about DAOs, governance, democracies, the weight of your vote. Who should have the biggest vote? Is it one person, one vote? Is that the best way? Is it not? Listen tomorrow. And until then, happy hodling, everyone.